Evening all. Curl on again with another Battle for Midway match. This is going to be one of multiple matches going on around the same time on the primary MRBC League channel. System Belmont will be hosting Imperial versus 228th Wild Ones. Meanwhile, here on MRBC League 2, we've got Smoke Adders versus Clan Smoke Jaguar. I'm going to apologize in advance. I didn't quite prep for this one as much as I had hoped, so I'm going to be winging things a little bit. So, for those unfamiliar with Battle for Midway, this is a competitive league. Been around for quite a while. I believe MRBC is the longest running competitive league in MechWarrior Online. The Battle for Midway format is a series of 6v6 drops carried out over 5 individual battles per match. The matches are tiered for tonnage as well as a restriction on the number of times you can use a specific mech per drop. So in this case, for drops 1 and 2, both sides have to have their mechs between somewhere between 250 and 275 tons, spread across 3 mechs. Drops 3 and 4, tonnage increases 375 to 400, and then for the final drop, 425 to 450. If you get the idea, you're generally going to see lights and mediums with the possibility of a heavy or 2 for drops 1 and 2. Drops 3 and 4, you start seeing bigger mechs. Drop 4 and 5, the assaults come out in force. As noted, a given chassis can only be used 3 times by a team across all 5 drops. So in drop 1, if they decide they're going to piranha rush, that's it. No more piranhas for that team for the rest of the night. You'll note it says that Team 1 is the home team for drop 1, drop 4, and drop 5. So basically by switching which team is Team 1 in the drops, for drops 1 and 2, 3 and 4, both teams get an opportunity to get the quote-unquote good side of a given map, if there is one. Most of the maps are fairly decently balanced at this point. For tonight's matches, first 2 drops are going to be on Tourmaline Desert. Second set of drops, Caustic Valley. Then for the final drop, it's a map ban system. They get to choose between HPG Manifold, the Mining Collective, or Forest Colony. So as noted, we're starting on Tourmaline Desert. To go with the modified drop size of only 6 mechs, the cap format has changed. Only 3 of the cap points are valid. We have rules in place for if a team touches one of the invalid cap points by accident, hopefully we won't have to deal with those. In the meantime, I'm already in the lobby with the 2 teams. They're just getting things figured out as far as who goes where, who gets the window seat in the dropship, etc. While they do that, let's take a look at who is actually playing this evening. On the Smoke Adders side, we've got Lukoi Banasek, Madcat 3050, Invictus, Revis Volek, McGraw 18, Unfearing, Skinwalker / Crimson Shadow, Kriven, Kralazek 242, MyJ, Vigigames, Psychu, Nilla 09. And I apologize if I'm a little distracted while doing this. I'm paying attention to the lobby and reading information off another display. So things may be a little rough. For Clan Smoke Jaguar, we've got Ring Wraith, Energy, Morists. Probably butchered that, and I apologize. Solitude, Pasha, Dario 03, Krasnopesky, Iron, Darkness Inside You, Grima, Thundermax, Natred, Sustained Eye Contact, and Trounce. Now let's instead look at the standings. As I noted, this is North America Group 1. As things stand currently, 228th Wild Ones is in the lead, Smoke Adder second, Imperial third, Clan Smoke Jag fourth. So as noted, there is another match going tonight in Group 1. Imperial versus 228th Wild Ones at the same time on MRBC League 1. So things could get shaken up tonight. Following these two matchups, in roughly 2 hours, Cranky Old Canadians will be going up against the Mercstar Turret Drops, again on the primary MRBC League Twitch. So, I see everyone's on the right team. We don't have green lights across the board yet, but I think that'll be coming quickly. These should be good drops. Division A is basically your top guys. Granted, as discussed in the earlier match today, there has been some burnout, so there's been some shuffling of the decks. We've got some newer players coming in, while some of the more experienced players have decided to take a break. Oh, I see a locked. So we're going to be getting underway shortly. But that said, the people playing in Div A, they know what they're doing. Should make for a good match to observe. See, we've got people showing up in chat. Unfortunately, I don't have codes to give away at this point. So there won't be a giveaway at the end, although I can spin the wheel and we can pick someone as the winner of the night if you want someone to high five. In the meantime, let's get into the match. Generally speaking, this is where the action takes place. Let's see what we've got. On the Smoke Adder's side, we've got Jaegermech, Wolfhound, Huntsman, Mislinks. For Clan Smoke Jaguar, it's a Piranha, Nightgyre, Piranha, Mislinks, Nightgyre, Dragon. And these two sides are wasting no time with the initial trading. Clan Smoke Jaguar sending their Piranha off to cap Epsilon. Nightgyres and Dragon providing Overwatch, while the Mislinks and Piranha also for Clan Smoke Jaguar tag Theta. This gives them a 2-to-1 cap lead right off the start, putting the pressure on Smoke Adders to respond. Smoke Adders are set up behind the Citadel, Castle, however you want to call it. Got a couple mechs in trading spots, watching. Wolfhound and Mislinks, Huntsman down low. Iron takes a peek, quickly rolls back. So the two are basically sizing each other up. Clan Smokejag being very aggressive with the initial UAVs. Got some long distance trading going between the Nightgyre and Smoke Adder's units. Down to 89%, 88%. He's collecting fire from 2 mechs now. Clan Smokejag does have 3 mechs firing in, however. Strikes going in. Invictus in the Jaeger mech, down to 81%. So for 2 minutes in, trading decently. Damage numbers are fairly balanced, slightly favoring Smoke Adders. Smoke Adders continue to sit back. You can see long shots coming in from Clan Smokejag as the Smoke Adders regroup behind the Citadel. They're now behind 100 tickets. It's still no action yet to grab a cap point. Mad Cat and the Wolfhound starting to separate off. I think he saw the Piranha and is just looking to keep him honest. Clan Smoke Jaguars is content to sit in their spot. And really, with a 2 cap control at the moment, they don't need to move. This trio continues to maintain Overwatch. Strike in from Smoke Adders. Ooh, Energy takes a big hit out of that strike. Again, watching that AC fire. Clan Smokejag is leaving a Piranha on Epsilon. And here we go. We got a couple of the Smoke Adder light units coming up. Take a look at Thetis. Clan Smoke Jaguar has units ready to receive. Iron jumping around in his mislinks, but still hesitant to really engage just yet. They decided they're going to come around the side. This gets them a little bit more favorable spot to engage, as the far Smoke Adder units, or sorry, Clan Smokejag units, don't have quite as much Overwatch. Darkness Inside You takes down Invictus. Some skilled distance trading there. Darkness Inside You, no, Darkness Inside You and a Piranha. He snuck up. I did not see that while I was watching this action. So as you can see, Darkness Inside You has gotten up on the Smoke Adders high ground and has pushed them out of it. Nightgyre has pushed up to Theta with the light units. Smoke Adder is getting some UAVs up, trying to get some visibility as to what's going on. Energy's down to 70%. 69%. Trading with Lukai, who's at 79%. Smoke Adders didn't like that position. They're still shifting around a bit. Dragon has pushed up as well. Clan Smoke Jaguar is expecting the battle to be closer to Theta, and they're posting up most of their mechs. Smoke Adders have brought the Huntsman forward. Vigigames coming forward in the Wolfhound. Lukoi posting up. Strikes. But still no interest in a direct brawl engagement. Meanwhile, and Smokejag Pasha in the Nightgyre has swung wide around rotating into the Smoke Adder's rear. Lukai gets darkness inside you with his Jaeger mech. Taking out a Piranha. Nicely done. So the engagement has started. Wolfhound on Piranha. Wolfhound ignoring Dario. Surprise Vigigames. Mad Cat takes out Energy in his Wolfhound. Kratos SP takes out Lukai. Dragon versus Jaegermech. Now got a brawl between the light units. Vigigames goes down. Now Iron versus Midge. Ij. Don't know how to pronounce that. Looks like ATMs coming from Nilla, causing Iron to change tack. Pasha finishes off the Mistlinks. Iron's going after the Huntsman. Gets inside that ATM's minimum range. Nilla has backup small lasers, but is now facing 3 Clan Smoke Jag mechs and goes down. Clan Smoke Jaguar takes the match. 6 kills to 3. Let's look at the numbers. Clan Smoke Jag, Nightgyre, doing good work. 626 damage, 1 kill, 5 assists. Krasnopesky and then Dragon, similarly, 2 kills, 4 assists, 450 damage. And fairly even spread from the rest of their units. On the Smoke Adder side, damage spread is fairly even, although slightly depressed, which makes sense given that they lost. No standout performance. They all pretty much put up equally good numbers. So we're going to go back to the whiteboard. Let those teams switch sides. I'm going to update the scores. Smoke Adders, 3 kills. Clan Smoke Jaguar with a win. 6 kills. Scoreboard has been updated. So that was a good map. Both teams used the map. This wasn't the normal just pile in on Theta and let the last mech standing win. Clan Smoke Jag took an early double cap and then stayed back in a good overwatch position, forcing Smoke Adders to try and figure out how they were going to respond. Ultimately, they pushed out of the backside of the castle, rotating clockwise, while pushing up a little bit. And Smoke Jaguar responded by pushing up to match them while sending their Nightgyre around clockwise to match the rotation. And ultimately, Clan Smoke Jaguar was able to control the fight a little better, came out ahead. Let's see what's going on in chat. Oh, and I see Moobot's been active. Someone hit the spam filter already. Impressive. I would expect more activity in chat given who's fighting. Make some noise in there, people. I know I don't have giveaways for you, but come on. These are two good teams putting up a good show. Let them feel some love. For those of you tuning in late, you missed the first drop. Second drop is coming up. Going to be on Tourmaline. This time, Smoke Adders will be on the Team 2 side. Clan Smoke Jaguar will be on the Team 1 side, so they'll have Castle to start. And to answer your question, Captain Judas, what happened to the Jaeger? A piranha snuck up and bit it. While I and most of the team was preoccupied with one action, the piranha used that to his advantage, picked off the Jaguar and back. So just waiting now for both sides to get rearranged, figure out what they need to bring and what they're dropping in for dropships, and we will go. As noted, at the same time this is going on, Imperial is taking on 228th Wild Ones over on the primary MRBC League channel. If you've got Khadgar, Multi-Twitch, etc., you can get both streams going at the same time. Then, in approximately an hour and a half, we get Cranky Old Canadians versus the Mercstar turret drops. And then a couple hours after that, there's an EU matchup, but unfortunately I don't think we've got anyone lined up to stream that, and I'm too tired to jump on it, folks. Apologize. Meanwhile, again, still just waiting for both sides to get comfortable where they are and lock in for the next drop. See what happens. So the overall standings. If Clan Smoke Jaguar can do a clean sweep Smoke Adders, that will put them on top of the board temporarily for Div A. But even if 228th Wild Ones loses every match, yeah, it'll be a temporary time at the top. 228th Wild Ones is going to pop back into the top spot. And the question will be, will Imperial jump up the rankings depending on how they do? So this leaderboard's going to get all shuffled after tonight. And you can watch it live on Twitch. So these are, if you look at Saturday, those are the matches that are in progress now. Bear in mind, my display shows Eastern time zone. So you'll need to adjust for your time zone. This hasn't adjusted for daylight savings kicking in later tonight for those of you that are in regions that matters. So you can see we've got a whole bunch of matches lined up. In addition, there's going to be, and I only know this because I'm in the unit, a Davian Strike Force match on Sunday evening as well. Let me just see who we're playing. So we'll be playing 42 tomorrow evening in Division B, North America. Okay, Smoke Adders have locked. And again, I appreciate the activity in chat. I want to see more of it. Just bear in mind, I don't have any gift codes at this point. So unfortunately, no giveaways at the end of tonight's stream. The only thing I can give you is the wonderful feeling of participation. And if that's not enough, well, that's all I got. Just wait now for... Okay, Smoke Jags have locked. Smoke Adders have locked. We are loading. As I take one last panic look to make sure I've got my overlays right. McGraw 18 getting a little religious on us. Hoping for boons from RNGesus. So, Team 1, Clan Smoke Jags. We have a Mistlynx, 2 Dragons, Arctic Cheetah, Nightgyre, and another Mistlynx. On the Smoke Adder side, we've got a Jaeger Bushwhacker, Mistlynx, Bushwhacker, Mistlynx, Hunchback 2C0. I'm going to take a look at Lukoi, see if he's playing the delete button. He is not. He has opted for 4 LBX2s. So not the current new hotness dual UX. So we've got for Clan Smoke Jaguar and Arctic Cheetah looking at Theta. Nilla for Smoke Adders. Tried to claim it. Oh, 2-on-1 on Dario. 2 Mistlynx versus an Arctic Cheetah. Iron coming in to give him some assistance. Dario down to 74%, Milla at 81. Mad Cat at 90. They're continuing to chase Dario. Dario is an early loss for Clan Smoke Jaguar. Meanwhile, the bulk of Smoke Jaguar is pushing into Smoke Adders. Coming at them from 2 angles, driving them back. McGraw and the Bushwhacker is at the front of this. Krasnopetsky and his Dragon getting focused hard by Smoke Adders. Down to 52%. Still upright, still putting out damage. 42%. He manages to take out the Hunchback. Iron and the Mistlynx doing a heroic jump into the middle to turn those mechs around. Meanwhile, Mad Cat and Nilla trying to turn around Clan Smoke Jaguar as they get Pasha's attention. Darkness Inside You joins in. Iron comes in. Pasha and Iron each drop a mech. Meanwhile, Invictus has taken out Nightgyre. Iron drops down into the bowl. Pasha's Jaeger mech gets taken out by the Dragon. McGraw now facing a 3-on-1. A good place to be in. That leaves Nilla in the Mistlynx as the lone Smoke Adder. 49%, 44%, gun still blazing. Changes to Krasnopetsky, hoping to find a crit and is not able to do so. Iron ultimately gets credited for the kill. One last strike from Nilla. Does a little bit of damage. I think he ended up legging the Mistlynx. But ultimately, Clan Smokejag is left with 4 mechs standing. Not the best looking mechs at this point, but enough that they're going to be able to flip Theta into their control and take the win.
Will provide us huge tactical benefit.
And just see what stats look like. So for Clan Smoke Jaguar, Pasha in the Dragon, doing serious work. 854 damage, 3 kills. Dario getting taken out early. Only did 94 points of damage, but he did soften up the lights on the smoke adders, helping his team clean them out later on. 6 kills to 2. Looking at the smoke adder side, damage scores fairly evenly spread, but they just were not able to get their damage out. Invictus with the lead at 296 points of damage. McGraw 261. The rest of the squad hovering around the 150 to 180 mark. Jump back to the whiteboard, and we'll update the scores. All right, so as you can see, it's now Clan Smoke Jaguar, 2 drops 1, 12 kills. Smoke Adders, no drops 1 yet, 5 kills. I'm going to flip to the map display. We now switch it up. Caustic Valley, Kappa, Theta, Epsilon, your valid cap points. The teams are not going to switch sides just yet. So for this first drop, Clan Smoke Jaguar is going to be Team 1, Smoke Adders Team 2. The colors nicely backwards compared to what you're seeing for the scoreboard. At this point, it's on the Smoke Adders to try and adjust their strategy to counter the game that Clan Smoke Jaguar is bringing this evening. So, because we don't have to switch sides around, this should be fairly quick for them to set up the drop decks. While they're doing that, I'm going to take another look at chat, and you guys have gone quiet on me. Just because I say I don't have anything to give away doesn't mean you guys can't be chatty. You've got members of the actual teams in chat. Give them some love. Or, you know, crunch some popcorn. That's cool. But if you're going to bring popcorn, you have to have enough to share. So, looking at Caustic, I don't actually expect the battle to occur in here. I'm going to expect either a brawl, either here, or it's going to be a trade gain on this side. As usual, I am 100% wrong when calling things, but I figured I've given myself enough options this time that I got a 50-50 chance of being somewhat right with some of that call. And a little bit of fun in the match chat as people decide whether or not they swap sides. To give you an idea what's being discussed, if you look at the drop list, when we start out, drop 1, team 1's the home team. We go to drop 2, you switch sides. For drop 3, we change maps, but if you note, Team 2 is still the home team. The reason why is so that we've got one drop where you don't have to waste time shuffling people around. For those that aren't familiar with PGI's private lobby implementation, it's great for rattling off matches where everyone's on the same side match after match. If you gotta swap sides, it's a pain. In doing so, both sides end up aware of what mechs the other pilots are in for a moment, which can reveal part of what's going on. So in addition to just the mechanics of swapping players around, you also generally want to jump in the wrong mechs so they can't get an idea of your strategy while you've got that short window of visibility. But a lot of teams just assume you swap sides every drop. So this has caused funds for some casters, depending on their overlay system. You end up with a match where, and I've run into this myself, where you're looking at the score, the overlay says it's one team, the team members are from the other team. Doesn't exactly make us look that professional. Someone's noted in chat that, it'd be great if PGI would just hit a side swap button. That would be very nice. MechCon's coming up next month. I'll probably bounce that off them. Don't know if it'll happen. Can't hurt to ask. In the meantime, as noted, the map has changed, the tonnage has changed also. We're going from 250 to 275 tons up to 375, 400. So you're going to see more heavies, probably an assault or two. And no, Zargalus, sorry, no free stuff. Like I said, the best I can do is give you a participation award. In Magpie Thief, you've got cranky Canadians. If you want more Canadian rep, get more people into that squad, do wonderful things, and then form a sub-squad, like you see the Smoke Adders doing. They've got multiple units under the Smoke Adder banner. This is their Div A squad. They've got 505th squad in Division D. And I could have sworn they had a third squad going, at least for World Championships, but my memory is probably hazy. It looks like we're just waiting on one Smoke Jaguar unit to get into the drop. Might be altering a mech build, which the ability to import and export builds quickly now helps the process nicely. You don't no longer have to have 5 mechs to cover 5 builds in your mech bay. You can get away with just having the codes and swapping them on one mech. That said, the rules do have time limits for how long teams are allowed to shuffle to make sure that we don't spend too long staring at the lobby screen between drops. And good. Seeing some love for the Smoke Adders. Let's get some love for Clan Smokejag too in there. You don't necessarily need more monitors, Magpie Thief. Look into Khadgar or Multi-Twitch. All your streams, one browser window. It's fun pandemonium. Okay, I see 6 pilots on each lobby. Or each team, I should say. Just waiting for them to shuffle around and lock in. And we will get underway. Clan Smokejag has locked. Smoke Adders are now doing their final shuffle. We're going to be underway shortly. Howdy, Zylog. And you're welcome. I'm having a ball doing this. Thank you guys for letting me play, and thank you for putting on such awesome shows. If there's a mod in chat that can do a multi-Twitch or Khadgar link with both MRBC League channels, that'd be awesome. Okay, both sides have locked in. I'm staring at a spinning connecting wheel. We're going to be in map shortly. Okay, welcome to scenic Caustic Valley, home of bizarre blue flame coming out of the ground. Alright, looking at Clan Smoke Jaguar. They have spread themselves around all 3 dropships. They are bringing 3 Annihilators, 2 Arctic Cheetahs, and an Arctic Wolf. So remember that, they will not be able to use Annihilators going forward. Meanwhile, Smoke Adders have brought Mauler, Annihilator, Warhammer, Piranha, Trebuchet, and a Summoner. McGraw and the Piranha races in and caps Theta, while Natred pokes at him with his Arctic Wolf. And we can see Clan Smoke Jaguar slowly making their way up. Smoke Adders doing the same. Lukai in the Hammer is set up for providing overwatch, as is Mad Cat and his Mauler. Someone does not like UAVs. Indiscriminately knocks it out of the sky. I don't think he realizes that cost someone C-bills. Or even worse, they could have been spending MC on those. Clan Smoke Jag starts the rotation. Smoke Adders not really responding as such yet. Invictus in the Summoner is gonna get first sight of that Annihilator. He drops back over the hill into cover, reporting to his team as they begin to reposition. Strike just misses Invictus. As Clan Smoke Jaguar continues their inevitable sweep around the caldera.
Kappa is under enemy control.
And the trading begins. Invictus down to 83%. Trying to stay out of sight of those Annihilators while getting into a better spot with some more coverage. Down to 70%. Clan Smoke Jaguar is not afraid of the heat of the caldera, pushing units into it to get multiple angles on the Smoke Adders. Smoke Adders are now in a line in the direction they don't want to be in, allowing Clan Smoke Jag to pick Invictus off. Focusing now, they've got his back, while the Arctic Cheetahs are in, beating on Saiku and his Annihilator, unable to get out of the way. They switch targets. Warhammer gets dropped by the Annihilator. Dario takes out an Annihilator. "3-0 in Clan Smoke Jaguar's lead. Natred takes out Trebuchet. This is now 6-2. It's a Mauler and a Piranha. All that's left for the Smoke Adders. The Mauler's down to 55%, facing Arctic Cheetah and Annihilator, and drops quickly. Meanwhile, the Piranha gets taken out by the Restless Clan Smoke Jaguar. All that's left now are the caps. And Smoke Jaguar floods back into the caldera to flip Theta. Pasha joining in the Annihilator just for the lulz. And the game hasn't quite realized that there's no way for the Smoke Adders to win yet. So the Arctic Cheetah, Arctic Wolf, and the other Arctic Cheetah go to flip Kappa. Just waiting for the game to figure out it's over. Dario shows up to speed up the process.
Command confirming that we have possession of Kappa.
With 3 caps, that is the match. So, looking at the stats, damage spread actually fairly even on the Clan Smokejag side, with Krasnopesky taking the lead at 626 damage in his Annihilator. Pasha close behind, 585. Arctic Cheetah actually doing work with 373. Pretty much everyone did work in that match on the Clan Smokejag side. For the Smoke Adders, your lead mech damage-wise was Madcat in the Mauler, putting out an impressive 603 damage, but unable to secure a kill with it. From there, McGrawl 18 is next up for damage lead at 337, and then it's sub 200 damage for the rest of the Smoke Adders, unfortunately. They just didn't quite respond to the push around the caldera as quickly as they could, unfortunately. Presenting individual mechs to Clan Smoke Jaguar, who are very quick to jump on it. So, we're back to the lobby. Teams have flipped around. I'm going to update the scores. So that was no kills for the Smoke Adders. And Smoke Jag with another drop win and 6 kills. So we're now on drop 4. This is going to be another caustic drop. Looking at chat. VODs will be available the moment I end the stream, Iron. So, just waiting for pilots to switch around. Get in the right mechs and in the right dropships. So, looking at the map strat, I'm going to call that a partial victory for calling it. Granted, I cheated by pretty much listing every option. So ultimately, it was a Clan Smoke Jaguar push around the perimeter. Let me make sure I've got this. I'm looking at the correct sides. I am not. So we'll try that again. It was a Clan Smoke Jaguar push around the perimeter while Smoke Adders basically posted up like this, hoping for an Epsi Theta control. When the push from Smoke Jags came in, Smoke Adder's response was to basically form a line this way, which unfortunately allows Clan Smoke Jag line And they actually sent some through the caldera, so I got that a little wrong. They did use the caldera. But that basically allowed Smoke Jag to pick off a mech, then move down the line, and pick off the mech. We did end up with a brawl in this region, but at that point, Smoke Adders had already suffered a decent chunk of damage, leaving them with mechs with open components. And when you've got multiple small mechs running around with machine guns, that's never a story that ends well for you. So the question now, what do the Smoke Adders do to respond? Another thing I'm going to do is I'm just taking a quick look, and it does not look like anyone has posted an update on the other match that's currently going on MRBC League 1. So I can't give you any spoilers. Meanwhile, it looks like both teams, well, at the very least, Smoke Adders are locked, waiting for Clan Smoke Jag to finish their final arrangements. Determine who gets that all-important window seat in the dropship. And just waiting for the final word, and we can get this drop underway. So meanwhile, if you haven't taken a look over on the primary MRBC League channel, 228 versus EMP, you know that's going to be entertaining. Meanwhile, Caustic Valley is loading. We'll be in the map shortly. You guys are too quiet in chat. All right, just waiting for the dropships. There's the music. For the Smoke Adders, we have a Summoner, Piranha, Warhammer, Sunspider, Kodiak, and another Warhammer. For Clan Smoke Jaguar, we've got 3 Fafnirs, 2 Assassins, and a Piranha. Go big or go home, Smoke Adders. Or, sorry, Clan Smoke Jaguar. Oh, we've got Iron in the Piranha. Looks like Clan Smoke Jaguar is going to go try for a 3-cap. Smoke Adders are going to beat them to Epsilon, but they've got a light headed that way. Iron's going to tag Theta. And meanwhile,
Theta is
off at Kappa. Darkness inside you. So Clan Smoke Jag getting the early cap dominance. And pulling back to Theta. You can see the 3 Fafnirs forming a very scary conga line. Meanwhile, Smoke Adders are very spread out. Sayaku and his Sunspider collecting a strike. Mad Cat and his Kodiak sitting up on a hill, waiting to see what he can see. Lukai and Vidya Games off on the other hill. Invictus in his summoner posted up on yet another hill. So it's looking like Clan Smokejag wants to punch into the team as one big mob. They trundle across the caldera, collecting some strikes, connecting the occasional autocannon fire from smoke adders as they get caught in the lines of sight. 2 Fafnirs versus a summoner. They've got him down to 70% already. Strike coming in. I think that... Oh! That was better aimed than I thought. Pasha down to 87%. Krasnopetsky down to 87% as Invictus in his summoners. Look at this from his point of view. Staring down 2 Fafnirs. He's at 58%. 55%. That is not something I'd want to stare at solo. Strike coming in. Is he aware that it's there? He is not, but manages to jump out of it. McGraw and the Piranha shows up just late enough to avoid being part of that strike. Meanwhile, we've got the 2 assassins circling around. I think they were going to possibly decap Kappa, but instead they see the light of McGraw. I think they're going to try and pounce Invictus. Invictus realizes he's in a bad spot. He's getting out of there while McGraw provides some cover. Dario pushing while the other Clan Smoke Jaguar assassin stays behind. Invictus down to 32% as those Fafnirs rip him up. 25%. He's legged. 17%. How is that summoner still upright? 13%. 10%. He should be getting an achievement for that. Manages to just squeak into cover, but no, he's still 8%. And still poking around, trying to get some shots and soften those Fafnirs up. Smoke Adders just do not have an answer for those 3 Fafnirs at the moment. And Invictus drops to Fafnir fire as I go to take a look at the rest of the Smoke Adder's weight. Psyche and the Sun Spider getting some shots in. Pasha's been warmed up pretty good, down to 49%. Another strike in the middle of the Fafnirs. Krasnopetsky continuing overwatch on this direction. These 2 are basically watching the Kodiak, making sure no one is posting up to their left. Psyche getting some shots. Lukai taking some shots, and the Fafnirs starting to move down, focusing Lukai's Warhammer. Looking at this from the Smoke Adder's perspective. Here's Doom coming out of the caldera as the Fafnirs begin their march. Lukai down to 48%. Mad Cat down to 79% in his Kodiak. Lukai 39%, 36%, and drops. Iron in his Piranha shows up at just the right time to capitalize on those critical components. Darkness inside you and the assassin, Dario and his assassin moving up. The lights now are going to harass the critically opened up assaults. Looking at Mad Cat first, dropping to 69%. But Mad Cat takes one of the assassins down first. Takes out the other assassin. That Kodiak is not happy about this. 2 good kills by the Smoke Adders. It's down to 65%, still combat effective. Vidya Games 68%. McGraw and his Piranha 64%. The Sun Spider, however, is having to face Iron alone, is not faring as well, down to 30%. McGraw comes in to save the day. Maybe. Vidya Games comes in to help. But Iron is able to rip up the critically injured Psyche. Now smells blood on the Warhammer, but overplays his hand. McGraw and Vidya Games are able to counter him. Meanwhile, the Fafnirs are moving in. At this point, the Smoke Adders are pulling away. They don't want this engagement unless it's on their terms, and I do not blame them. Clan Smokejag has 3 units on the board, all Fafnirs. Smoke Adders are down to a Piranha and Warhammer, which, if these Fafnirs spread out too much, Pasha is off on his own at 25%. If the Smoke Adders realize it, that could be an easy kill for McGraw. Looking behind me. Yep, where's the Jaws music when I need it? The Piranha is coming around the Colnera as Pasha turns to run. But before that happens, it's going to be 2 Fafnirs on a Warhammer. Vidya Games engaging with Krasnopesky. And Energy comes around the corner, finishes him off. So they're going to turn around. And I would assume regroup with Pasha. Meanwhile, McGraw flips Theta.
Resource point Theta is ours.
So the question now, can that Piranha stay alive long enough to keep these slow Fafnirs from getting cap control? Currently, Clan Smokejag has a 100 ticket lead, but that's gonna degrade. Krasnopesky is flipping Kappa. I'm assuming he's gonna camp it. Energy is going to flip Theta.
They've taken Epsilon.
And again, I'm assuming going to camp it. That's going to leave Pasha in the middle to try and assist wherever McGraw goes. Now at this point, Clan Smokejag is back to a 2-cap control scenario to the Smoke Adders single cap. So the Smoke Adders have to get another cap, which means McGraw is going to have to decide where he wants to have this fight. Looking at the minimap, Pasha is kind of crawling his way back up to Theta. So that would be a 2-to-1 engagement for McGraw. At this point, McGraw is the critical mech. We're going to bring his specs up here so we can watch what happens. He's healthy at the moment. He sees Energy. He's going in there. Got him down to 59%. Trying to keep him turned around. Use that speed to his advantage. Manages to take out Energy. I wonder if Energy was XL. Goes after Pasha. Takes him out. McGraw has a fighting chance. There's only a minute on the clock to make up a little more than a 100 ticket lead. I don't know if the clock's on his side, but he was able to go 2-to-1 versus Fafnirs and take him out. So if he can flip Theta and quickly take out Krasnopesky and turn off Epsilon, Smoke Adders might be able to pull this out. He's got an open leg. Kraz knows he's gonna be coming. He sees Theta has flipped. McGraw is gonna waste no time. We're not gonna bother with a full cap. You've only got a minute on the clock, McGraw. Get over there. There's no point delaying it. Keep the terrain between you. You can't afford a long distance engagement and losing that leg. On the flip side, can Kraz afford to get off the cap? I see what he's doing. He's forcing McGraw to go into open territory, which if he was still on the cap, he wouldn't be able to see. McGraw serpentines. gets in on Krasnopetsky, starts and takes him down. There's only 27 seconds on the clock. It's a 100 ticket lead. Can he decap in less than 20 seconds? It's a full cap on Epsy. This is going to go right down to the wire. 10 seconds. 5 seconds.
The enemy has capped enough resources. We've failed.
Smoke Adders, after cleaning out Clan Smoke Jaguar, is going to lose by under 100 tickets due to the 12-minute clock. That was an awesome battle. Clan Smoke Jaguars, all dead. Pasha ripping out 900 points of damage. Energy 722. The Fafnirs doing incredible work. Meanwhile, on the Smoke Adders side, the damage numbers are higher than they have been, averaging 350. But it was too late in the match to do the deed. Clan Smoke Jaguars just ekes that out by the clock and tickets. So, back to the scoreboard as we go to drop 5. Update the scores. Smoke Adders getting all 6 kills, but unfortunately, the win going to Clan Smoke Jaguar with only 5 kills. Awesome effort by the Smoke Adders. That was the fight we were hoping to see, if only the timing had been a little bit more in their favor. And I can't really fault either side for how they handled that match. So, I'm going to turn that off. We're going to go here because it's been decided we are going to be on HPG Manifold. Your valid caps here are Epsilon, Theta, Kappa. We are tonning up. And I just want to verify. Make sure I'm not giving incorrect info. So that is always a bummer. And we are turning up to 425 to 450 tons. You thought the Fafnirs were an impressive wall of mechs. Well, now they've got even more tonnage to throw around. Now's the time in chat. Start throwing out your bets as to what we're going to see. So far, we've seen trading, we've seen brawling. This map lends itself to both. I got no idea what to call for this one. Other than, it's going to be entertaining. And I gotta take a short moment here. I'm actually losing my voice. Been getting too wamped up this match. So at this point, I don't know why chat isn't going nuts. Smoke adders have shown that they can fight at Clan Smoke Jaguar's level. I want to see Smoke adders win the drop. Meanwhile, we're going to have a little bit of a delay due to PGI features cropping up for one player. I'm going to give them a moment to get things restarted and sorted. But I want to see the noise in chat for the Smoke adders. That was an awesome battle. So while we wait for that, what other info do I have I can get out to you guys for what's going on at the moment? So as I noted, we've got another match going on at the moment over on the main MRBC League channel. You've got the 228th Wild Ones going up against Imperial. So you know that's a good match. Then in a little under an hour, again on the main MRBC channel, you're going to have Cranky Canadians going up against the Mercstar Turret Drops. That match is going to determine whether or not 228 Death from Above stays on top of that league. So, interesting things going on all over the place tonight. And again, I apologize if my voice is a little off at this point. I'm actually losing it. You've got me all too excited. Alright, seeing as we've got a little bit of a delay, I'm going to see if I can get a little silly. So far, I've not had the best of luck doing this, but I'm willing to give it another go. Be just a moment while I make sure everything is plumbed where I expect it to be. Alright. Actually, yeah, I'm going to let them shuffle. MRBC League channel. Kodiak and another Warhammer. So here's the drop we just saw. So Clan Smoke Jag getting the early Fafnirs, forming a very scary conga line. Here's your initial setup. Meanwhile, Smoke Adders are Clan Smoke Jaguars with 2 caps. Sayaku and his Sun Spider Mad Cat and his Kodiak. Sitting up on a hill, waiting to give you hopefully a little bit of audio there. Lukai and Vidya Games off on the other hill. Invictus in his Summoner posted up on yet another hill. So it's looking like Clan Smokejag wants to punch into the team as one big mob. They trundle across the caldera, collecting some strikes, connecting the occasional autocannon fire from smoke adders as they get caught in the lines of sight. 2 Fafnirs versus a Summoner. They've got him down to 70% already. Strike coming in. I think that... Oh! That was better aimed than I thought. Pasha down to 87%. Krasnopetsky down to 87% as Invictus in his Summoners. Look at this from his point of view. Staring down 2 Fafnirs. He's at 58%. 55%. That is not something I'd want to stare at solo. Strike coming in. Is he aware that it's there? He is not, but manages to jump out of it. McGraw and the Piranha shows up just late enough to avoid being part of that strike. Meanwhile, we've got the 2 assassins circling around. I think they were going to possibly decap Kappa, but instead they see the light of McGraw. I think they're going to try and pounce Invictus. Invictus realizes he's in a bad spot. He's getting out of there while McGraw provides some cover. Dario pushing while the other Clan Smoke Jaguar assassin stays behind. Invictus down to 32% as those Fafnirs rip him up. 25%. He's legged. 17%. How is that Summoner still upright? 13%. 10%. He should be getting an achievement for that. Manages to just squeak into cover, but no, he's still 8%. And still poking around, trying to get some shots and soften those Fafnirs up. Smoke Adders just do not have an answer for those 3 Fafnirs at the moment. We'll be going to the live match shortly. To Fafnir fire as I go to take a look at the rest of the Smoke Adder's weight. Psyche and the Sun Spider getting some shots in. Pasha's been warmed up pretty good, down to 49%. Another strike in the middle of the Fafnirs. Krasnopetsky continuing overwatch on this direction. These 2 are basically watching the Kodiak. Okay, breaking away from the replay. Because it is mech smashing time. Final drop of the evening for these 2 teams. And remember, Sigma and Gamma are not valid cap points. For the Smoke Adders, we've got an Annihilator, Piranha, Arctic Wolf, Mauler, Mad Cat 2, and another Annihilator. For Clan Smoke Jaguar, it is a Summoner, Mad Cat 2, Mauler, Wolfhound, Mad Cat 2, and Nova Cat. So we see the Smoke Adders using a 2-gate entry. Interesting that they did not bother sending a mech to the Epsilon side dropship to get the quick cap.
control.
Meanwhile, you look back at Clan Smoke Jaguar, and you'll see that Dario and the Wolfhound has very quickly grabbed Kappa for them. Meanwhile, they've grouped up the rest of their bulk to come onto the map through one gate as a group. Smoke Adders in position a little quicker, able to get some quick pot shots in. Meanwhile, Pasha and the Summoner up on the wall. See autocannon fire coming in on the Smoke Adders, but missing there initially. Strike on Pasha. Direct hit. Takes down 11%. Meanwhile, the Smoke Adders have run into the two lights that went underneath to get Theta. So far, Clan Smoke Jag's a little rough getting into position. Smoke Adders have a little bit better initial setup. Got there a little quicker. Sustained eye contacts, the tail of the group at the moment. Summoner starting to get some back shots. Unfearing is about to collect multiple mech shots as he's exposed to his back to the Summoner. Sustained eye contacts getting shots on him. He's dropped down to 60%. Had to turn to respond to Pasha. Meanwhile, this is what the Annihilators have to stare at. We're going to go up high. Come back to Clan Smoke Jag's side. As you can see, Krasnopesky takes Unfearing out. He was in a bad spot. Didn't have any place to really get out from either the Mad Cat or Nova Cat's gaze, where he wasn't also exposing himself to the Summoner up on the wall. More strikes on Smoke Adders. McGrawl down to 61%. Energy down to 59%. So Smoke Adders are getting some shots in, but they're just getting pincered at the moment. Meanwhile, Mad Cat and the Piranha shows up and is trying to turn these mechs around. Gets sustained eye contact, turnaround, takes him out. Invictus credited with the kill, moving up with the Annihilator. Video Games has destroyed energy. Here we go. The Smoke Adders are starting to turn it around. They're finally on top of Clan Smoke Jag, going after Thundermax. Take him out. Oh, but Mad Cat self-destruct to do it. And Thundermax self-destructed. Okay. It's a cold map, but it's not that cold, folks. Video Games doing Ring Around the Rosie on Kraz. But Dario's using the opportunity to pick him off. Video Games gets Kraz down to 50%. McGraw goes for the free back shot. Annihilator and Arctic Wolf versus Wolfhound. Video Games a little hesitant to engage. We're down to 2 Smoke Adders left. You've got Pasha and the Summoner up on the wall. Dario in the Wolfhound running for his life from the Arctic Wolf. Video Game peppering him with SRMs. Pasha, meanwhile, is fairly free to move about at this point. No one's really challenging. Primary damage he's received has been from strikes. Getting more back shots in on the Annihilator and Mad Cat, who need to get out of his line of fire. Mad Cat down to 24%. Psyche down to 55%. Pasha just getting free shot after free shot. Meanwhile, Video Games is going to flip Kappa, putting the Smoke Adders at a 2-cap lead. They're at a 100-ticket deficit, but this time the clock is back on their side. They've still got 6 minutes to sort this out. Psyche and the Annihilator coming outside. Interesting choice. Pasha finally takes McGraw out, was not able to stay out of Pasha's line of sight. Pasha's now going to be looking to take out the Annihilator, who is going to drop down. Vidya Games eats a strike. Don't know if that came from Dario or Pasha, but he's down to 40%. Psyche's trying to stay in cover. Really, at this point, oh, it's not a 2-1. They weren't able to get the cap. They were able to flip it, but at this point, tickets are not moving in their favor. They drive the Wolfhound off, but they need a cap. And to get that cap, that means exposing themselves to Pasha. So the question is, what do you do? Not seeing strikes go out at this point tells me that Smoke Adders are out of consumables. Pasha gets up as high as possible. Vidya Games down to 29%, but is starting to get the cap. Every shot Pasha puts on Vidya Games delays the cap action, but at this point, Vidya Games has flipped it. So we now have 2-1, Smoke Adders' favor. We've got one Clan Smoke Jag going underneath. They're going to flip Theta. Meanwhile, Psyche versus the Summoner of Pasha. That poor Annihilator is in rough shape. Down to roughly half its weapons. Meanwhile, Vidya Games can't really do much other than sit there. Although, while Pasha is busy with Psyche, yeah, go up towards the edge while you've got cover. So it's back to a 2-cap lead for Clan Smoke Jaguar. Smoke Adders have to respond. And the clock is running out. We saw what happened last time. Smoke Adders were able to get the kills, but there just wasn't enough time on the clock to overcome the ticket advantage. Pasha is going to ignore the Annihilator and go for the Arctic Wolf, considering them a higher threat as a more mobile unit. I'd say that's probably a good call. And Pasha gets the kill shot. It's now down to the Annihilator.
We've already gained a quarter of the resources.
And here's the view from the poor critted out, no weapons Annihilator as Pasha puts the final shot in to win the match. It's a good effort from the Smoke Adders. 4 kills to 6. They brought a good game to this match, but just not quite enough this time. Looking at the final scores, Pasha putting out a brutal 1,035 damage in a 12-minute match with only 6 mechs to rack that damage up against, collecting 3 of the kills on their own. On the Smoke Adder side, fairly even damage spread across the board. They all did work. Good game on both teams' parts. Go to the whiteboard. Tally this up. 4 more kills for the Smoke Adders, but unfortunately, the win. And 6 more kills for Clan Smoke Jaguar puts the score 5-0 in Clan Smoke Jaguar's favor. 29 kills to 15. Normally, I should be trying to get people up here for interviews, but to be honest, my voice is about to vacate the building. So instead, I'm going to advise you use these 30 minutes before the Cranky Canadians and Mercstar Turret Drops go at it to refresh your popcorn and drinks and get ready for the next match in the series. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. VODs will be available on Twitch instantly and on YouTube in about a day. And as noted, I don't have any giveaways for you guys tonight. So instead, you all win. Give each other hugs. I'm Curlon. This has been Battle for Midway. Thank you for watching.